Hey, how you doing, everyone? This is Kenny the Heat here. I'm going to give a quick video on alternate lighting in a disaster scenario, prepping for that. So, you'll notice here that I have several different flashlights, these lantern-style flashlights. Uh, Many of them, such as this one right here, take 9-volt battery, larger 9-volt battery. This one here will take 4D batteries, and this one will take 4 AA batteries. And the reason why I have different size battery flashlights is in any type of scenario you could run out of power and forced to use these flashlights, and they could run out fairly quickly, and I like to keep a bunch of different batteries on hand just to make sure that I have them for replacing my batteries in my flashlight or smoke detectors or whatever. And I really don't have to worry about running out of one particular battery. I can usually choose. But in this household, everyone has a larger lantern, all for themselves. These are just a few of what I do have as far as the lanterns are concerned. But they give a very big stream of light, just one of them. And you'll find that the LEDs, this one's an LED, works much better than the regular bulbed flashlights. So, something to think about. These things do draw a lot of power, so the batteries are not something that really last, a terribly long time, but they do the job. You get these smaller flashlights are good too. Same thing, they draw a lot of power, but they work. You need them. But you'll find that you can buy some of these LED flashlights fairly cheap. These two here were bought at the Dollar Tree store, and they were $1. And with the batteries, they were all of $2. So they're not a lot of money, but you can prepare for anything fairly easy if you have these flashlights here. And these flashlights are only temporary. They're there to get you where you need to go, find your way around your home. They're not going to be something that you're going to keep on all night. That's the way you're going to ruin the flashlight, blow the bulb on it, use all your batteries, and then it's going to be useless to you. That's just temporary. And I didn't include the mag lights that I have in my stash. Everyone knows about mag lights. They're probably the best type of flashlight to use, or one of the best, in the fact that they can be used as a self-defense weapon also. They're very strong too. They have a lot of different things on them, attachments that can be used. I got to show you this flashlight here. This is more for a vehicle. It's got a solar panel on it, and it can be powered up by the cigarette lighter and the solar panel. And it also has this punch here to punch through glass. Now, you turn it on, you have this stream. It's got 3 LED lights. And if you hit it one more time, it's got a strobe on it. And that's good for a vehicle signaling outdoors. And all you have to do is just make sure it's plugged in. It has power to it. And it also, like I said, it can be solar powered, which means it'll charge the internal battery that's in here. I mean, this isn't something that you'd really keep plugged in and use it. You could, but you have to make sure that it's charged up before. But it's like I said, it's something decent for a vehicle, so long as it's maintained. Which, personally, if I was going to keep that in a vehicle, I'd probably want to keep, maybe one of these smaller ones or a lantern. Like I said, these flashlights are only used for one purpose: temporary lighting. Okay, they're not long-term. Long-term would be more along the lines of, candles. And I could go into the virtues of candles for a long time with what they can do and how good they are, but, we all know about candles. One point I will make about them is these scented candles. How they're encased in this glass is great. As far as safety is concerned, they're good. But when it comes down to it, do you really want your house being overpowered by the smell of vanilla or whatever scented candle you have. You know, you get the unscented ones. I like these right here. They're very small. They're cheap. They're encased in glass, and you can put several of them. These are very long lasting, actually. Um, these smaller ones are not. They're just a supplemental. You know, you could just make sure you're safe with candles. That's more of a long-term illumination. And some people like to use kerosene lamps. This is not a kerosene lamp, but I don't have any kerosene lamps because I don't like them. I think that they're a fire hazard, and you know, for a long-term lighting situation, I wouldn't want to use them because they can be knocked over, and that's how people get hurt. But this one here is like an LED lamp, so it's got LEDs in it. You put batteries in it, and it works just like a kerosene lamp. You can vary the amount of power that and the illumination of it. But kerosene lamps I don't like using because they're a safety concern. If they get knocked over, you get a fire. But with any candles, make sure that you have a fire extinguisher that's just safe. You don't want to burn your house down. Then you have a bigger problem. Next, I have some glow sticks. You can get these cheap. You can get, like I said, you can get them at the Dollar Tree store or at a kid's party store. They're just chem lights. You break them open, and you'll find that the cheaper chem lights work just as good as the expensive ones. As long as they give, 8 hours of glow, then it doesn't matter. You could spend a lot of money on them or cheap. I don't think it really matters if they're cheap or expensive, as long as they do what they're required to do, and that's light up for 8 hours, which they do. So that's in a nutshell, just some ideas. There are a bunch of different ways. There are a lot of different flashlights. They have crank-operated flashlights, which are good, but you're always cranking the flashlight up. Like I said, flashlights are temporary. They're not going to be your primary source of light in your home. Most of the time, your primary source of light is going to come through candles. They do have solar lighting that you can use outdoors, and you can bring that in the house, but that's the amount of a panel you need to have any amount of light is really not worth it. But this is generally in a storm or a disaster, this is what you're going to be using. So something to think about. So you're going to make sure you have the batteries for your flashlights. You've got to make sure you maintain everything. But there's a bunch of different ways with candles that you can illuminate things with. You just got to be safe with them. And like I said, it's just a down and dirty video. There are probably so many different things you can comment about it. So look forward to your comments, and if you'd like to see a video, just inbox me and we can get that going. Thank you.